Um,
Check. Is this thing on? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you. Let's go, baby. Your life is yours. This moment is ours. Together, we make the Crypto Lifer Show. God bless each and every one of you. Let's take some of this lime. I asked for a lemon today, but, you know, sometimes you run out of lemons. You switch it up to a lime, right? Limes have some other different properties. They both have their strengths. And let's have some lime water today. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's hydrate and get ready for a beautiful live stream. Crypto Lifer mug, made by a fellow Crypto Lifer. Pretty cool, interesting thing there. Shout out to everybody on the live. I appreciate you all more than you would ever know. Let's get that music back up in the background. Love my music. And let's break it down like we do every single day. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate for being here on this Thursday. Kind of a slow Thursday, waiting for Bitcoin to make a bit of a move here. We're going to talk about that. We're going to break it down. First thing I want to break down is the Fed meeting, CME watch tool, which we watch all the time. All right, and it tells us 70% that we're going to go flat, no rate hike at all. 29% that we will make a rate hike. So the odds, and this has been pretty spot on each time we've done this. So it's saying 70% will stay current, and we will not change the rate. So here's the deal. When I said, you know, if you look at the thumbnail today, what's going down? Well, it's more about what's they're devastated about, not what we're devastated about. So, you know, this news did come out. I felt like this news about Gary Gensler trying to become an advisor, I felt like that news came out months ago. Like, you know, check me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that news had surfaced. They're just now, the lawyers are now talking about it. But I remember that news resurfacing not too long ago, like maybe 4 months ago, something like that. I remember hearing the same thing, that he tried to become an advisor to Binance. So this is old news to me. I've definitely heard it before, but now it's all over the internet, right? And it's now getting more mainstream attraction. Now, if you try to become, you know, basically he wanted to get a job, right? And they kind of did it him. They knew he was part of the cartel with Goldman Sachs. They knew his connections to other nefarious people. And they said, you know what? No, we're all set. And then he went on a vengeance. And, you know, and that's a conflict of interest right off the bat. If anyone says it's not, it's ridiculous. Yeah, we talked about it months ago. Yeah, see, someone's saying that. Yeah. So we went over this idea. I don't know why it's mainstream news today, because it is new news, but it is old news. But, you know, it is what it is. People like to get excited. So we'll get excited. Let's get excited, everybody. Here's the deal. Everyone wants to know what's happening to Bitcoin. Well, it's pretty simple. It dumped, but it didn't. It's holding a level, which is pretty interesting. You can see there was liquidity right here. So we can bring this bar down. You can see right there, we bounced, fell through, bounced. I'd bring it more like right there, in my humble opinion. And then we bounced. We have a double bottom at this area. All right. Wherever you recently double bottomed can be a nice support zone. So it's definitely something that we're looking at for Bitcoin. 15-minute is oversold. Wants to make a move down, and even though I looked for a short this morning, it was a small short. It did pay a little bit, but it wasn't amazing. We just kind of slowly came down. They even spiked the price up and got some shorts out of the trade just to kind of spike, you know, see what's going on. We've had Bookmap running since about 7 a.m. Looking at it here, we still see more liquidity to the downside, but it's iffy. It's up or down, so it depends. How about that show on Frankie Candles last night? Frankie Candles, God bless the Candle Mafia. Anyone in here from the Candle Mafia, we love you. We appreciate you, and we thank you for your support, your love, and your constant respect and honor. Thank you so much for the love. If you see a little white dove on the screen, all right, this is for my father. My father passed away on May 2nd, and I think about him every single moment, every single day, constantly throughout the day. You know, I mean, just go over what happened to him, how he felt when he passed, just if there's anything different I could have done, and then also just like knowing that he's cool, you know. Interesting enough, you know, I'll share something that, you know, my mom told me is that she saw it. She saw his ghostly figure. She said, you know, my mom's really never really been like she's not that into, like, we don't have long talks about spirituality, and I've never really mentioned ghosts with her and stuff like that. So it's not like that's, you know, because one people have moms and they're all about the supernatural. My mom's really not about the supernatural. She's very kind of like, you know, what it is. And I was talking to her yesterday, and she said, I saw your father. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I saw him. And she's like, I felt this ethereal feeling in the room. I turned and I looked, and he was standing there. And he was like, he was there, but he wasn't. She was like, he was translucent, like you see in the movie, you know, like when they, she's like, and he looked at me and he smiled, and he was gone. And she said it gave me this feeling of calm and peace. And I could tell in her voice, because it was the first time she wasn't as shaky when we spoke. It seemed like she had come to some type of peace. You tell me whatever you think that is. I told her, I believe you 100%, Mom. You know, 100%. Like, you know, because some people are like, and then I joked with her. I was like, sure you did. And we had to laugh together. But, you know, I don't know if anyone's ever seen one of their loved ones after they've passed. You could tell me in the comment section. Let me know. I just want to know if that's something that's happened to you. I've been reading about it now a little bit. And, you know, I've gotten into this stuff before. So, very, very interesting. And my mom would never just like, it's so out of character for her to say something like this. And that's what makes me, you know, really believe. And I would never not believe my mom anyway, but it adds that sense of lore, that sense of reality, you know. After my mom passed, she used to visit me in my dreams all the time. People say dreams all the time. What a horrible person. Get this out of here. You gotta remove that and remove that. That's not what I'm trying to connect to. Anyway, not to be rude, but Christianity says ghosts are not real. Can only be demons portraying a love. Oh my God. You can't, you believe I'm not going to get into that either. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. I appreciate you all. Yeah. Theta is forming a cup and handle on the 15-minute. World's a mysterious place, and it probably really happened. Amen. Sounds crazy, but it's real. Anyway, so I shared that with you. We could move on. God bless each and every one of you for being here. And I've actually researched, you know, all these different things in my life. And I've come to found that, you know, people are in between different realms, and we live around multiple realms. There's also kids that grow up and they're able to see spirits like that. I've researched this for a long time. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's break it down. You heard about the alien that fell into someone's backyard. Never heard about that. Shout out to everybody here. So we're looking at this basically symmetrical triangle. Almost a bull pennant, though. It has some bullish feels to it, right? And, you know, it's very strange that you came into the bull pennant. Usually it's a bear pennant that would break further to the downside. Your measured move to the upside is going to be 27,706. Your measured move to the downside is going to be about 25,844. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the day. And I wouldn't be surprised if we range sideways, you know what I mean, for most of the day. My prediction, or, you know, is that we are going to go to the downside based on the stochastics on the 1 hour time frame. If I just keep trading the stochastics the same way over and over again, they make sense. Also, I've seen this play out, even though it looks a bit strange, as a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder that could break us further to the downside on a measured move. We also came up to this top area, which some could say was pretty close enough to the top of the trend, and we were likely to come here back to the bottom of the trend. So also the 4 hour time frame still hanging out at the high zone, right? It is showing, it's interesting, we got some bullish divergence on this indicator showing signs of a bullish divvy that could pop us back to the upside. It's somewhat of a good sign. And when we look at this really closely, we have a shoulder, head, and a shoulder on this one. It's interesting. We did get a nice wick to the upside, and so far we have been holding the zone, which tells me that we may get a move back to the upside. We got this broadening falling wedge is what I'm looking at, but we could also say that it was a falling wedge that did break to the upside sideways. I stick to more the traditional zone here that we already broke out of the wedge and we just went sideways a little bit. So let's see what happens for Bitcoin into the afternoon. But I would want to wait out this 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look at our 7 minute, which is that go-to on the low, right? And if we look at our 7 minute time frame, we're just seeing some sideways price action. Kind of a diamond here, if you ask me, right? It like has this diamond vibe here. It's a weird place for a diamond though, and you came in for the bottom, so it's like, I don't know, you know what I mean? It'd be like a tiny diamond, but my mind sees some type of diamond forming here. So what do I see happening? Well, I'm talking about the Fed meeting, and they're devastated. They don't know what to do. The Fed is devastated because Now they had to raise the debt ceiling a little earlier than normal, which runs into their plans. Like, they thought the debt ceiling maybe in July, but now they had to actually bring it up. Now everyone's sitting there like, what do we do now? It's a bit encumbersome. Like, not sure what to be doing. So with that being said, the 7-minute does want to try to break out of this tiny little falling wedge that we see inside for a possible scalp. Right now, it's small time frame scalping. It's really the best bet, in my humble opinion. And then I have a bigger trade that I'm working on that I'm going to discuss a little while towards the middle of the live stream. So if you want to see the trade that I'm working on, kind of my idea behind it, why I'm doing what I'm doing, stay tuned for a little while later. I liked HIBIRDS. That was the I look IZI, which is Izzy, in this cup and handle. If it can come back down and hit the support zone at the 618, could even wick into the golden pocket. So we're watching this thing a little closely too as well. All right. Oh, and I messed up this morning. Sorry, last night I think I put out PBS, but it should be PBX. I don't know why. I must hit an S accidentally. It is right near the X, so I'll give myself that. So watch it, Izzy. Interesting idea. And then the high coins, which had their week. The high coins were the hottest all week long, just absolutely tearing it up. And I have every single high coin in the game here. And HIBIRDS was doing damage. People took some profits and it came back down. But hey, had you swung that up with a little bit of a move there and kept that stop loss going, HIBIRDS did make a nice move to the upside from last night. Last couple hours, it went up about, 8%, maybe even a little more. 24%, mark my words. Wow, that's actually a pretty smooth move to the upside. So HIBIRDS was the bigger gainer of all these high coins. But now they've already gotten, people have taken profits from these. They're kind of hanging out. HICLONEX just got blasted to the downside, was looking nicely, and that's why you always use a stop loss every time you trade, just to lock in your profits, lock in where you're at. 1 hour does want to break to the upside, and you're hitting the 200 SMA. The only thing I could say is like that these wacky falling wedges that eventually break up after they broke out, but that's pretty weird, you know what I mean? And I see that I've been backtesting this, and I've showed it on my channel many times that it actually does play out over time, but that one's a little too overboard for me. Like I can't co-sign that, right? But looking at HICLONEX, I could see a bigger move to the upside here. Here's our resistance point. And we're looking for a bigger move here on the 1 hour that could continue to the upside. We pull a Fibonacci here on HICLONEX, and we are sitting in the golden pocket, so I wouldn't be surprised if we could get a move to continue this rally. Also, the swing up, while this swings heavily down, is a hidden bullish divergence, which tells me that the trend may continue to the upside. So it may not be over yet for HICLONEX, something to think about. Would you recommend KuCoin over FEMEX? I mean, I think you would need both. FEMEX has different, I believe FEMEX, you can trade oil and gold. That's why I was going to start trading FEMEX. KuCoin's great though. KuCoin's for low cap gems. Like KuCoin's with some, you want to turn $500 into $2,500. You're trying to find some low cap money. I love KuCoin for that. Can the daily on Bitcoin keep consolidating as it happened before until moving down, until oversold territory before it's running up? Anything could happen. We're going to take a look at all those different ideas on the daily, and I'm going to show you the big and the small. I had a huge owl slam in my window at my house a few months after moving in. About a year after my mom's death. I know I hear it from time to time. An owl, that's crazy too, a big owl. My ancestors are always with me. I give love, praise, and move with grace to stay in tune. Fall on them when I need to get back in track. Life is one experience after all. One as well, so on and so forth. Shout out to Stack McChange in the house. God bless you, Stack. I didn't cry when my dad passed away as I'm an elder in the family. But one day he came and hugged me till I cried out and felt light after that. Shout out to Faisal Salim, man. God bless you, brother. Yeah, you got to be tough. I'm sure she did. Your dad's energy and all the love he gave to the world is still here. And you and your mom, too. It's funny you said that, and I started realizing that. Like, what he poured onto me is still pouring on to me and other people. And so, and you know what I like what someone said, too? The pain represents that you were loved so, so much. There'd be no pain if there was no love. So, as above, so below. Shout out to everybody here. So, it is what it is, baby. It is what it is. Hi, friends, getting that move up for over how much did it go up? About 117% out of Hi, friends, for that move to the upside. Hi, friends. Hi, friends. How y'all doing? Right? But shout out to Frankie Candles yet again. It was a great live stream yesterday. Absolutely amazing. And if we had a Spaces with Grant Cardone last night. I've done 2 spaces with Grant in the last 2 days. What a nice man. Super awesome. Gave me speaking privileges. Was very, very nice. He follows me on Twitter now. So me and Grant are Twitter buddies. Shout out to everybody out here on the live. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here. So what a beautiful day it is to be alive. So much happening. So much going down. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. So, yeah, shout out to Grant Cardone one more time, man. We're going to get him on the show. It's only a matter of time. And look at HICLONEX. HICLONEX, minting live. HICLONEX Alpha, an exclusive community of HICLONEX holders. And HICLONEX is a high fractional reserve coin of HICLONEX. So just one thing to think about. I don't know what HICLONEX is as an NFT, but, you know, it's trending right now. People are loving it. It's funny that I brought it up immediately. It's like I'm somewhat psychic. It happens to me a lot. Like I'll look at something and next thing you know, it's trending. MATIC with 7.2 million tweets at 77 cents. Really good place for me personally to accumulate some MATIC. Very, very interesting. Technical analysis, classic T. It's funny. We got to make our own classic T's for TA. Crypto.com, I'm not a huge fan of. I have to be honest. Something about it, something about the high fees too. That card always produced high fees. Was never really a go-to. So, kind of tough. You know what I mean? HICLONEX got bought by Nike. Oh, that's a big deal. We'll get that in the news. HICLONEX and NFT, they came out back in 2021. After a little research about owls, they say they're associated with death in the afterlife. Check it out. It's cool. Interesting. Owls are a very interesting animal. I mean, if owls don't pull you in, right? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Can we get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your life, baby. So we see that HIFRIENDS is starting to make a beautiful symmetrical triangle. 1 hour pointing to the upside. We got a cup and handle inside of this. And I didn't even prepare this. I just see what my mind sees, and I'm nice to share it with you. So things that I'm looking at, that's a cup and handle inside of HIFRIENDS. I wouldn't be surprised if HIFRIENDS continued its beautiful rally to the upside. Another thing I like about HIFRIENDS is when I pull my Fibonacci level, I can see we came to that beautiful retracement area. We're now playing above the 618, and this wants to turn, that wants to turn. You can see the cup and handle in here, and also the RSI, you can kind of draw the similar pattern that wants to break out. Lack of momentum in either sense, and we have falling volume and falling price, which is telling me there's likely going to be a big move to the upside for HIFRIENDS. So I'm watching HIFRIENDS. Trust me, there's always money to be made in this market. There's always opportunity if you believe there is. If you just fall off and say, it is what it is, it is what it is. But there's always opportunity in the market. Shout out to everybody here. You know I'm here every single day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And, you know, sometimes maybe 11:40 or 11:45, but to 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. almost every single day. No, actually, I shouldn't say almost every single day. Actually, well, Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. But the idea is I don't take a day off. I'm here every single day, pumping and grinding, doing my thing for the crypto space, and I love each and every one of you more than you would ever know. I want to see you change your lives. I want to change my life with you, and together I want to form the coolest, amazing group, most respectful, loving group that there ever was made in the internet. So God bless each and every one of you. I consider you all friends and family for life. If you supported me, if you've been with me, if you've hung out around me, you are a blessing. You're a beautiful person, and God loves you, and I love you too. So thank you so much for being here, everybody. Let's celebrate life, love. Let's celebrate happiness and everyone out here. So God bless you all. Thank you for jumping on in. And HIBIRDS. So the idea is this. The market's going to be a little iffy as people wait. Hi, friends. Sorry. As people wait. Just want to write this down. As people wait for the rate hike, right? Once that rate hike happens, we could see a massive pivot for Bitcoin. So I just something, you know, and I could see us consolidating. Maybe the 50-minute looks like it may come down one more time here. But HIFRIENDS looks like a big move is coming. Again, that's just what the charts convey. I don't hold any. I'm not trying to pump it because I'm in it. I may get in it at one point if I think it's viable. Right now, I'm not. And if I was in it, I would tell you, hey, I got into this trade last night. I think it could do pretty well. So shout out to everybody here on the live. HIFRIENDS looks like the big winner for me on the high coins on KuCoin. So there's always something brewing. Also, One Earth had this beautiful pump, and now it's attempting to kind of flag out in another kind of symmetrical triangle here. This could continue to the upside. It's got some interest in it. Might get one more pump until some bearish divvy. I would be watching One Earth on the radar too as well. We traded this on and off back in the day. One Earth is an amazing coin. Does some wonderful moves. So I was a good looking under the feathers with skinny long legs and tiny bodies. They look like an alien for sure. Respect. Shout out to James Armstrong. Shout out to all the beautiful people. Shout out to Toby Linares. Fun fact, 199 shows remaining until we have 1,009 episodes. The equivalent of 3 years in days. Yep, 199 shows remaining until we do 1,095 episodes. Insane. And we're on our way to episode 1,000, which is a big deal. 1,000 episodes, on our way to 40, or on our way to 50K, 50,000 subscribers. That's going to be a milestone of milestones when I finally hit it. Working so hard to get these in. That, you know what I like about that? That's just the goal, right? I mean, the goal is all these other things. Change people's lives, find as many gains as possible, right? Help people figure out what's happening in the charts, explain this, explain that, look for the newest amazing opportunities in the market. For instance, we're BRC20 heavy, and we want you to understand how BRC20s could really change the world. So, and a lot of people don't know where to find a BRC20 coin. What is a BRC20 coin? What is it? What's going on? The market cap has gone down drastically, but right now we're sitting at $727 million on our way to $1 billion market cap, which is pretty interesting. Already still holding 8, which is very, very, very exciting. B20 was the coin that we all started getting into. That is like the Alex coin that you can trade with. This one's also awesome. I'm excited to talk about B20, and there's just a lot to go over in the space. Like, we're not this. Everyone thinks we're stagnant, nothing's happening, but there's more happening than I've ever seen in a pre-halving year. So much going down. So these are Bitcoin ordinals, and a lot of them can almost be free to mint. You can free to mint them, and then next thing you know, just for the Bitcoin fee, next thing you know, they start going up in value pretty fast, and it's very interesting. You could 100x. You know, this coin recently, OXBT. We put it out on our trading group. We have a BRC20 room. Shout out to After Hours Investing, who looked at it and talked about it. And this made some massive gains for people in the trading group. Like, we're talking 75x, 100x. It was amazing. So people were basically been looking at this closely, talking about it, and yeah, it can gain some steam. So definitely something that I'd be paying attention to on the radar. OXBT and ordinals still actually pretty hot. Bitcoin getting a nice pump to the upside. Let's talk about Bitcoin getting that move, 26.6. Wow, look at that falling wedge that just massively broke to the upside for Bitcoin. Bang, bang, bang. And I just said that 7-minute could break out of the wedge. Did I not? I mean, that's all I saw. That was the only thing that I really saw, was this falling wedge, and I just drew this line. And you're like, did I really just do that? Did I really just find the call of the day? I almost don't believe it, right? We have to go back and play the tape again. What is going on here? When I started, and this is why I love my channel. And this is why I don't even, you know, it's ready to rock. We're raw and informed here every single day. So I looked this, I found the flag, and then right here, I'm looking here. Where do I draw that, actually? I'm trying to see. No, then I got into the coins. I just still can't believe this. Nice move for Bitcoin to the upside. And there it is right there, right? What I'm doing? Stay tuned for a little while later. You know, I liked HIBIRDS. That was the, I look, IZI, which is Izzy. And this is why you come to the channel, because you never know what we're going to uncover. Possible scalp. Right now, it's small time frame scalping. It's really the best bet, in my humble opinion. And then I have a bigger trade that I'm working on that I'm going to discuss a little while towards the middle of the live stream. So if you want to see the trade that I'm working on, kind of my idea behind it, why I'm doing what I'm doing, didn't even like call it out. I just like subconsciously drew it in front of you guys, but say, hey, man, that's a 7-minute, and the 7-minute stochastics wanted to make a move to the upside. If you just trade those stochastics and stick to it, what a beautiful move for Bitcoin to the upside. Nice pump out of this kind of, it is kind of a bull pennant in my humble opinion, but it has two different ways. Very nice jacket, deep blue, looking fresh. Shout out to John Thomas in the game. Thank you, John. You mentioned my clothes again, and no, I'm just messing with you. Shout out to everybody here on the live. We love you. We thank you. We appreciate all your funny comments, all the things that you talk about and that you do. Thank you so much for being here. 442 people on the live, 181 likes. Maybe get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. It was a very nice episode yesterday with you on the Frankie Candle Show. Shout out to Organic Autos Garden. God bless you. Meek Vision. Cardano is pamping. How do you pamp something? No, I'm just joking. Well, most coins are going to follow this move to the upside for Bitcoin. What a nice pump for Bitcoin. And I just saw this falling wedge in the 7 with the 7-minute wanted to make a move. If you just keep loading up at the same place. Also, look at this. I mean, we have a bit of a W, right? And that's a W. W's break back to the upside. So we got a pump for Bitcoin on the early Thursday morning. to me, it's probably a liquidity grab grabbing the shorts. Let's take a look if we see any people getting liquidated here on Bitcoin. So that was the spike up real quick that just occurred, and we saw 31,000 people getting liquidated. And that's not just getting stopped out. They're actually getting liquidated. It's Cardoza. Kramer renamed it for us. That guy's the worst, man. Just liquidated before it moved to 26K. And possible. Very possible. Anything is open-minded. But what we did do is we broke above a local resistance now. Right there was a resistance point. You can see resistance, resistance, resistance. The resistance was at 26,542. All right. And we did already break out of this falling wedge. And we are in a bit of a cup and handle. So if you go by the cup and handle, this says that we're going to make a bigger move to the upside. The measure move is wick to wick. And we swing that over here to the upside. Sammy, cup and ante, we got a resistance there at about 28,270. All right. And that coincides with this top bar area. I'd like to see us get back above that to the upside. Let's clean out the chart. Let's take a look at a random chart here on KuCoin. I did show this last night, which is an inverted head and shoulder. We technically just hit pretty close to the target. And whenever I get into one there, my stop loss is on the right shoulder. This would have actually played up to the upside had you gotten into this trade. It took some time, and it was up a couple times, and then it went back up again. I get it. But still, in a way, I'm not saying this broke out, but we did hit the target. This could have gotten you into the trade. Point of control here on the 7-minute too. Once you get above that, you go to this high volume node. There's a gap right there, and there you go. You gap up to the upside. So the story is as it is. Story is as told. Could also, you could also say we're in this broadening falling wedge, but that takes away the zone. So to me, that's what we're looking at, right? We'll take a look at our 3-day chart, which I'm very, very bullish on. All right, and I keep mentioning this idea. And we're going to look at the MACD, which the MACD is showing lack of sell pressure. So far, so good. All right. This 3-day candle closes in 9 hours at tonight. So we want to see this 3-candle close bullishly, this 3-day candle. That would be super, super amazing. I love this flag. I've traded these types of flags many times in my life. They do go the length of the pole. If you keep it super simple, it suggests that we will go to 38,000. All right, and continue. We flip over to that weekly. We slap on the moving averages, right? And it's all about, like I've been saying, is staying above the 200 SMA. We're back above it. Last night, we kind of hung out a little bit below it. We got wicked back up again. This closes in 3 days and 10 hours on Sunday night. I can't wait to go over this weekly close. We're going to break it down for you. I'm excited. You should be excited. This is something that we definitely want to see happen. If we can get this close above, it's going to be a big, big deal. So I'm super excited for that. Wojak bottomed out. Whatever you want. We share our ideas. God bless you for jumping, Arthur. I don't want to put you down. These meme coins come and go, man. We share ideas. It's on you to expand. Lifers, God bless you, man. Just posted a 1-minute scalp within the 99 if you want to show the peeps some sauce. No, I appreciate it, John. But we're not going to have you hijack the screen tonight. I appreciate that, though. I know you want to just take over the show. It's just not going to happen today, brother. I control you too. No, you trolling me, I control you, man. Oh no, but we'll see what it is. So my man was trading on the 1-minute time frame. Saw this beautiful falling wedge that could break to the upside. He called it too. Right-click this and hit always show stats, and the stats will show up and they won't disappear when you post the chart. Stochastics were pointing up. RSI was pointing up. Everything looked pretty nice. And then bang, he nailed it to the upside with a massive gain. So that's how the 1-minute trades, smaller time frames on Pepe. So 1-0 for the 1 minute today. Let's go. Amen. Shout out to my man John Thomas in the game. Clearly, you never talk about trading course in group. Michael Life. Clearly, you never talk about your trading course and group. Can I download the trading course so I can study and study? Yes, you may. Yes, you may. I talk about the group all the time. I mean, this is my trading group. If you want to jump into the trading group, we are here for you every single day. I broke it down yesterday. We have a video where you can watch. This will tell you everything that's in the trading group. Super important that you learn this and that you learn why would you join the trading group, what kind of information. Like we have so many other things in there too. We connect to other resources and tools that can help you see the market better. All right. Like we have a whale bot. We have all these different bots that show you where money's moving in the market, show you what the hottest coins are and more. So watch that YouTube video. It'll change your life. The 1 hour cup and handle, bro. Let's go, breaking out. And we're coming back down a little bit now, though, back to that 588 area. So sticking to the bigger time frame, I'm bullish as long as the weekly stays above this 200 SMA. It's getting hairy, it's getting tight, but a lot of times a big move is coming out of this. Another thing that you want to look at is your Gaussian channel that I've been talking about for a while too. And other people have also been breaking it down. I'm not saying I'm the only guy, but the 5-day, whenever you get through the red zone and come on the other side, a massive move ensues. Even if it takes some time, it might take some time, but a massive move can ensue. We did it here. We got the pump up. Fine, we slipped back in, but after a massive move to the upside. Right now, the 5-day has cleared the Gaussian channel through the red zone, and it's coming back just to test the top of the channel, which you see right here. This looks just like what we're seeing right here, with the flag touching the top of the channel. So this tells me a big move is coming. This tells me a big move is coming on the 5-day chart. So again, whatever you kind of go for and look at, but that I'm calling for a move to the upside. The Fed will not be able to raise the rates. When they don't raise rates and they stay flat, we're going to see a bull move like you wouldn't believe. I'm preparing for that bull move already, and I'm going to explain the trade that I'm getting ready for, which I might even sell into Fed Day if we get the pump that I'm looking for. So if you're excited about that, we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. And yeah, I'm excited to show you the idea that I'm working with right here. Oh, baby. And here we go. BOOKMAP just kind of liquidated shorts right there, coming back down to lower liquidity. Not the most amazing move. All right. Again, it is Wednesday. It is Thursday. Thursday tends to have, some smaller gains. So, and just smaller volume. Doesn't mean I haven't seen a huge pump on Thursday, but it's smaller volume in general. So just remember that. Like if you're waiting for a play, it may not happen as quick or as fast, and it all depends. It all depends. So I see a move coming for Bitcoin. The 50 crossing the 80-day moving average right there, which is a good sign. We're going to start consolidating the other way. We go to the 3-day chart. As I showed last night on Frankie Candles, we have a swing up to swing up, and we got a swing down to swing down. That is called a hidden bullish divergence. And you'd be like, no, it's not. And I'd be like, okay. So I show you this sheet that I always give whenever I do a class. If we look at it closely, right, you see swing up to swing up, swing down to swing down. That's regular bearish. Swing down to swing up, regular bullish. But if your price swings up while the RSI swings down, you got hidden bullish divergence. Hidden here, bullish divergence there. And that's what I'm looking at right here on the 3-day chart. Clear as day to me. So I see a swing down on the RSI while price action swings to the upside. You can also double click it and see that level. So look, actually it's a little high on the 3-day. So, but to me, still, even if they're both pointing up, if one is pointing up far more harsher than the other, however, it looked more like divergence until I broke it back in. But I still like what I'm seeing here. Also, the RSI in the falling wedge is a good sign that we're going to get a move to the upside. I like that. Also, lack of bearish momentum in the MACD. It's just, and then being really kind of shoulder head and almost the right shoulder there on the stochastics RSI as well. It's very, very interesting, right? It could almost, even though this is hard to see, and I'm shoulder, head, and a right shoulder slanted to the downside that could break us back to the upside as well. So far, nice bounce on the 3-day chart, back to the upside. Moving average is getting tight. Things starting to kind of make sense here. The daily, trying to get that rounded bottom on the stochastics there and trade on out of it. I'm excited to see what's happening on the daily time frame as well. We're going to switch to the other things that kind of move the market. We're going to break that down too. So these are healthy signs for Bitcoin in my humble opinion. The 22 says we may squiggle around here a little bit before we get a bigger move. And the 4-hour is attempting to put in, I guess what is like a shoulder, a head, and a funky right shoulder. Not amazing. If I have to even, get really, really tight with it, we're making some type of symmetrical triangle that could easily break to the upside. We got this, and this is the falling wedge that I keep mentioning and going over too as well. So I see bullish signs on big time frames. The smaller time frames just have to kind of fall in line. This is a 68% chance that you break out of this falling wedge. That's what falling wedges do. Just like the 7, you trade this 4-hour the same way we just traded the 7-minute. They're no different. You know what I mean? It's all about perspective and time frame. So we'll look back at the 1-hour time frame and we see what's going on the 1 hour. The 1 hour, is basically, for me, symmetrical triangle, right? Attempting to break out, but it could also just go more sideways like this, and this could be kind of some consolidation for the 1 hour time frame. We do need to stay back above the levels that we're going to break down for you again, So let's talk about support and resistance. Like, that's what we're looking at for price action. Let's talk about support and resistance. So you technically came back down to the support zone, and people got their orders filled that were filled down here, which is amazing. You saw me, I bought in that red day, bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in that nasty dump 2 days ago. And you can see, I mean, resistance, resistance, bounce, bounce. So I like what we're looking at. If we lose this level, we're going to come somewhere to the 24,000, 23,090 level. That's our next level to look for on the 4 hour time frame. And then if we lose that, you're talking 21,688, and then all the way to the downside further to this previous high at about 19.5. Now, anything could happen, but it's definitely something that would coincide with the CME gap. So I show this all the time on the channel just to kind of keep you privy. In case you're new to the channel, you're not sure, you haven't been around, or if you are new and just like the same kind of updated peace of mind of evidence every day, of information. So we got 20,400 here, right? That's a beautiful CME gap. Price action can easily get back down into that CME gap. However, we got this big broadening rising wedge that's looking for a bigger move to the upside. One thing we're going to look at is the show, which shows a bunch of different ideas. So we looked at CME gap, we looked at the bigger time frames. You can see why I'm bullish on the bigger time frames. I'm beginning to kind of just show you, the evidence that I see in the charts. I'm not trying to make it, guarantee anything or say it has to be. These are just the evidence that I see in the chart. Also, we look at the total market cap for Bitcoin, and it's in a falling wedge on the daily too as well. Really does want to basically get ready for a bigger move. It could even double bottom in this little zone, but I see something brewing here for Bitcoin. Another thing that I've been looking at is when I went to the weekly on the total market cap, what I liked about it is the weekly is a little higher above the 200 SMA and actually never went below it at all. Actually just been wicking towards it. So that shows signs that we aren't going to go much lower because that 200 SMA becomes your lockstep. And again, if we close a weekly candle below it, I'll change my tune, right? I'll change my tune. I do want to show you the trade idea that I'm working on and why I'm working on it, and I'm going to break it down in a second. Stay tuned for that. I can't wait to show you that information. So stay tuned as we get you to the next level every single day here on the channel. So that's what I see in for the total market cap. After the total market cap, I like a look at the Dow Jones and just see what's happening to the Dow. You can see the Dow's in a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Very similar to Bitcoin's idea here. Been a long time since I looked at the Dow every day, but right now the Dow, like I showed you, is like bullishly consolidating. This is really nice information here. And what I like to do is let's watch this and let's test this. We'll come back to this tomorrow. But this tells me that the Dow is getting ready for bullishness. All stocks look like they're getting ready for some type of move, some type of signal, and it'll even be front run if people feel more and more comfortable. As the debt ceiling and there's more issues and politicians play more games, it's less likely that the Fed's going to be able to raise rates. If you're just coming in today, thank you for being here. We're talking about the Fed rate hike, right? And what's so devastating? We're not devastated for Bitcoin, even if, a little bit of an idea there on the thumbnail. We're devastated for the Fed. The Fed is devastated. They don't know what's happening. They will never get to 2%. They should have switched us all to Bitcoin a long time ago and just got us into a new form of money. But the original system wants to continue to fight. The old system, that legacy system wants to take back. It wants to push us back. It wants to say, no, I want this for us. And you know what? Bitcoin is for the people. So no matter what they do, they're never going to form a better form of money than Bitcoin. It's just not going to happen. Think about it. Michael Saylor's not an idiot. He came up with some amazing technology. He ran a company. He became a billionaire. He was like the 7th richest person in DC at one point. So maybe even more, So he can't be a fool, right? He can't be. And so you have to look at that as the human race has levels of intelligence, right? I mean, some people are smarter than others. I mean, you can't say that's not true. Everyone has a gift, but some people are definitely, there's people way smarter than me. There's people I'm way smarter than, right? You're somewhere, everyone's in a pocket of energy and space. Breaking that down and talking about that, we really reveal the idea. Michael Saylor's not a fool. He's one of the more intelligent people of society. There's a reason why that many people look up to him. Whenever he goes, people are like, "Oh my God, that's Saylor." Like when I saw him in person, like good energy, good vibes, and to see that many people like trying to talk to him, press always running around him. I mean, he's a known figure in the space. He's a known figure around the world. He's a known financial guru. You know, and it's funny. He even said he's a horrible trader. Said he tried to trade, couldn't do it, was absolutely horrible at it. But he's good at building products, solving problems, and using technology to move the world ahead. If he has picked Bitcoin and put that much money into it, it should already give you a sign that something's brewing. And I'm not saying buy it blindly off Michael Saylor, but my whole point is this: we know he's intelligent, we know he wins. He's brought his company to where it is now, and he's got, he pays in his employees. He's been running a great company, MicroStrategy. If you want to see it on the charts too, it's a good way to get exposure for Bitcoin. And he's putting a lot of money, almost basically all his eggs in one basket. And again, too, weekly divergences are bottoms. So I can almost tell you that this was going to tell you that the rate hike, things were going to change based on this falling, price falling with this moving up. I called an S&P reversal. That happened, right? And we did the same thing with a weekly divergence. I'm calling the bottom for Bitcoin with a weekly divergence. So my dog barked when he was speaking at Bitcoin Miami. Oops. Shout out to Board Type Crow, man. If Saylor and Musk are excited about Bitcoin, I am all in. And that's the thing. I mean, I like Musk too, but he's got his own ideas. He's like focused on space and other stuff. Saylor is focused on finances and his. I mean, they're both focused on financing the company, but Saylor is really, really focused on the company. So there's the Dow looking pretty nice to me for an inverted head and shoulder move to the upside, top of the channel, bottom of the channel. Looks like we're going to get a move in the Dow Jones. Stocks are going to fly. That's very, very interesting. All right, and just something privy to think about. I gave some ideas for stocks too. I'm about to be nice to you. What are the top 10 stocks that are in AI that people may want to focus on that are could do some damage? Did some research for you, compiled a couple of a few names together, and I'll reveal them also in a second. Things that you want to pay attention to. I always got these little gems that I'm looking for. I have a super hyperactive mind. I'm always trying to find where the find is, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to grind into the vine, baby. But there's always interesting information, and every day there's new information to sift through. The more you sift through it, the better you get at sifting through information. So let me dig this up if I may be privy to dig this up. While I do a lot of work, I'm going through all the work that I did recently. So here we go. And some of them may be obvious to you, some of them maybe not. It all depends. But let's get it going. Let's explain this. Let me show you what I see happening here. So AI stock marketplace, NVIDIA designs and sells GPUs for gaming, cryptocurrency mining, and professional applications, as well as chip systems. And I'd wait for a pullback, but NVIDIA looks like it continue. That's a stock I used to trade on and off too. And software as a service is SaaS, right? So C.AI offers software as a service applications for development and operation of large-scale AI applications. They're in collaboration with Alphabet for AI. Hi, my name is Sam Price, and I want to give you the top 10 picks for AI in 2023 to 2024 in the stock market. I know I always do cryptocurrency, but I want to show you kind of what we're doing, and hopefully these companies actually probably invest in the blockchain, probably get themselves into some type of Web3 relationship. This is very, very interesting. The first stock I want to talk about is NVIDIA, which had its huge pump recently to the upside. NVIDIA made a massive gain. It designs and sells GPUs. If you didn't know, it's a cryptocurrency mining for cryptocurrency mining and professional applications, as well as a chip system for use in vehicles, robotics, and other tools. So it's getting used a lot in a lot of electrical cars as we continue to move the automotive industry into electric. C3 AI offers software as a service applications for the development, deployment, and operation of large-scale AI applications. They're in collaboration with Alphabet for AI development. I mean, that's the company behind Google. You may want to pay attention to C3 AI. IBM provides AI services through Watson products, which assist customers in making informed decision. That's Watson for IBM. Adobe is increasing its efforts in AI and machine learning, especially with its Experience Cloud product. This product used for marketing and analytics provides predictive capabilities that can elevate sales and marketing strategies. Alphabet Google is making progress in AI, including the creation of an AI chatbot. Despite some initial hiccups, the company's strong standing in the tech industry, commitment to technology and advancement, and an extensive array of AI tools and infrastructure position as a major player. And that's Google, right? Alphabet, Google, baby, Google. Amazon employs AI in various ways, including with its cloud, and these are obvious, right? Baidu, B-I-D-I, and Microsoft, right? Microsoft recently had a huge pump from 91 up to 130. We're seeing some gains in the stock market that are interesting. Let's take a look at Microsoft right now as it's getting a pretty big it got a pretty big pump. People want to know, hey, I missed the pump. When is the chance to get back into Microsoft on the NASDAQ? So again, on the weekly chart, we had this swing down while we had a flatter move on the RSI. That tells me there was going to be a pretty big move for Microsoft. Microsoft got the pump. Also, what did it bounce off of? The 200 SMA. If you find weekly bullish divergence near the 200 SMA, I'm telling you right now, that's a pretty big sign that something is brewing to the upside. So Microsoft on a massive tear, about to possibly double top at $3.25 a share. And this thing is just going up and up and up. Unbelievable. I can't even believe it. It was just sitting at 215. It ripped all the way up to 335 here on the NASDAQ, Microsoft Corp. That is a beautiful move for Microsoft. So definitely something to continue to watch as it got a blast. I mean, what a blast that was for Microsoft. I mean, 50% gains on a stock. It did take some time, right? I mean, you're talking about a year time. But that's, stocks take their time, and then you're up 53% on the move. You can find out how long that took by hitting Shift, clicking on the screen. All right. Yeah, and then you can move up here, and it'll kind of give you 154 days, right, for us to make that gain for Microsoft, which isn't too bad considering. I mean, to make 54%, it's about 3% a day. You can't beat that. 3 times, 50 is 150 or so. That's amazing, right? Microsoft. So write those down. Get yourself excited if you are a stock market person or you're kind of dabble between crypto and stocks. You haven't made the plunge yet all the way in. Those are some things I would definitely pay attention to. Some obvious plays, some not so obvious plays on the radar. So, yeah, I want to break that down, just talk about it. Figured that would kind of interest you, get you a little bit excited. So it got me excited too. And seeing that as we enter this realm, it's only going to get bigger, right? These things are only going to get bigger and the different things that we see inside. So let's look at C3 AI. And what I like about it, kind of bottomed out there on the weekly chart. It's a good sign, rounded bottoms pay the bills. We look at our 3-day chart. And again, what I teach you about the cryptocurrency, you can trade anything, any way. You'll be able to trade any market you want. So moving averages just getting started for a bigger move to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised. And it's called AI. I mean, it's the stock tick called AI. They got that stock ticker. I mean, you got to and we're going to get the narrative move there in the stock market too. This could go up 95% gains in not too long from now. I'd be paying attention to this C3 AI idea. And that goes from 37 all the way back to 70. Can you imagine buying options on Microsoft last year, 1 year out? I should have bought more Tesla super cheap months ago. Enrolled in that drip program. Yep. That should be cut out and edited into a YouTube short and TikTok video. Exactly. It will be. Hey, Sam, there's an interesting correlation with the Bitcoin price action compared to the euro. God bless you, man. Thank you for saying that. So Bitcoin just got even more of a bit of a pump here. They went to 26,800. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down on that smaller time frame. So I'm, as needless to say, I broke down why I'm bullish on Bitcoin on the bigger time frames. We'll see what happens, and I'm going to give you the idea that I'm working on, the trade that I'm beginning to build, why, how, and exactly the reasoning, positional, where I'm getting in, where I'm putting the stop loss, the entire enchilada. So get excited. I give away a lot of what I look at, especially for Bitcoin. The altcoin gains are for us in the group, but I still even gave you a few ideas here with HIFRIENDS and a few other things on the radar today. So Bitcoin getting a massive spike to the upside. Love to see this. It's holding gains now at 26,650. It did wick all the way up to about 26,699. The futures look like they basically hit 26.8 or got pretty dang close to it, about 27.50 area. So massive move for Bitcoin. I drew this falling wedge at the beginning of the live, looking like we could get a pump to the upside, and lo and behold, we got a pump to the upside. So 7-minute is starting to cool off. I would look for that to I would look for this pump to probably start to kind of hang out a little bit and chill and relax. But wow, if you're on the channel, we did find this falling wedge in the 7-minute. You can go back to the beginning of the stream and see that. And had you played that falling wedge 68% of the time, massive gains coming to the upside. Also got above the 200 SMA. A candle closed above it, and not every time, but at least you get a pump there. That one was a massive pump, a nicer move to the upside. So we're going to watch the 7-minute cool off now, and and then BOOKMAP too as well. I was looking at BOOKMAP without saying anything. So BOOKMAP, link to the Bookmap in the description below. The beautiful people at Bookmap watched me for a while and said, hey, we really like your style. We like how accurate you are trading Bitcoin. And, you know, we want to basically, we want to help, you know, we want to work with you. And I was like, let's work, let's do it. Shout out to the firefighters in the game. Shout out to All Legs No Torso. We love you. Look at her showing her boots, man. Firefighters forever, man. God bless the firefighters in my trading group. And she makes gains, baby, gains. This is one of the best girl traders, one of the best traders in the group. I shouldn't even say girl traders. One of the best traders in the group. Man or woman, it doesn't really matter. Lifers are lifers. You know, we connect on majorly high levels, and we just have a blast. So a lot of people taking gains out of this little pump to the upside, right? This guy took 10x leverage, 71% on 100 Pepe. Optimism for a beautiful 20%. Shout out to Bashara, my man, making gains. And thank you for all the respect and love that you give me. This guy's super nice. You're all super nice, but I just want to spotlight people that are like, you know, just you were super nice and super respectful to me in the trading group, man. God bless you. 90% gains on Kava Perpetual at 16x and Ant up 10.45%. So, and you can see this consolidative move too. We're going to look at the smaller time frame, see if maybe there's some more pump coming. Like that looks like, you know, the 1 second chart of the smaller chart too. So yeah, we're consolidating on the smaller time frames, and we're making this pattern here. This could kind of start to predict what we're going. I'll delete this here. And that's the 5 second chart. Just be careful. But I'm just starting to see if we see some market structure that could hold for, you know, later on. This could end up being a way bigger pattern that just takes a longer time to form. We were trading this the other day when Bitcoin had a nice pump to the upside too as well. Also, it's Thursday, last day for bigger liquidity. And you could say that, you know, I believe insiders are starting to really pay attention to the fact that the interest rates are likely not going to go up. Interest rates don't go up. It's going to be a good deal. Going to be a good deal for the real estate market too. If we could get that to kind of slow down a little bit, make it easier for people to purchase homes. Right now, a lot of people have been purchased out due to the rates and due to kind of the access to money. So watch this 5 second chart. This could continue to the upside here on the smaller time frames to 26,911. I wouldn't be surprised. And that 4 hour time frame did show that bounce, showed like it wanted to make a bit of a move to the upside. So we've gone over the 10 hot stocks that are connected to AI, number one. Some obvious, some not, right? On top of that, we also gave you, a play for Bitcoin that happened live as we saw a falling wedge on the 7-minute time frame. That doesn't happen on every single channel. And, we're also going to give you the news. We're going to keep you up to date, and we're going to have a blast. We're also going to keep you positive and calm no matter what's happening. Remind you to take gains. Yeah, I'm not a financial advisor, but no one ever went broke taking some gains and figuring out what's happened. You get up in a trade, it's time to snipe it a little bit and take some profits off the table, right? At least move the stop loss to break even at the very least, and always just cover that capital and make sure that capital can be used again in another trade. The key is not to lose the cap. You lose all the cap, no cap. Get it? Don't lose your cap, no cap. So you don't want to lose your capital. All right, super, super important you don't lose the capital. We have a bearish divvy here, though. Look, I mean, kind of swinging up while that swings down. Not too bad so far, but we are getting a bit of a pullback now. And lower liquidity on these days, it's going to be kind of sketchy. I'd get off the 5 second chart. So what I see happening is the 7-minute got extended. I would look for the 7-minute to flag on out. Really, I guess I'm getting a little carried away. I don't trade the 5 second regularly, so. But I would just flag this 7-minute and hope that we don't just give it all back. And there's a chance we do, right? Bitcoin's been doing that a lot lately, just kind of swinging around and just losing it and giving it back, losing it and just pumping all over the place. 15-minute is also getting a little overbought, something to think about. But look what the 15-minute did. We just broke back above the 200 SMA. A lot of times I've seen big moves come out of that. And so that's another thing to kind of keep attention to. So if the 7-minute can continue to consolidate left, and it's likely we could get this beautiful bullish consolidation, which could continue us. At that point, I check out the 1 hour time frame, which is a little high, but it doesn't mean it can't flip up one more time and go for gold. And the same as the 7, as it's kind of bouncing off this bullish divergence, which this indicator called right here, and then we did get the bounce to the upside. So what are we doing right now? We're watching the 15-minute and the 7 as it broke out of this bigger flag. We can get rid of this falling wedge that nailed it. Shout out to anyone that did or did not see that, or found the education through me and was able to use it, or just found the education through themselves. All right. So we're going to watch the 15-minute and the 7. We want to see some bullish consolidation up or down. That's going to be the key area. If we just drop back in, it is what it is, right? We do have a gap in the VRVP here, and we're in the middle. Suggests that we end up here at this volume area high. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got to 26,800 for Bitcoin. So exciting times. Nice little pump on a Thursday morning. Shout out to anyone that jumped on in and see what other coins kind of got the love right there, right? RFOX actually was pumping all morning, got the sell-off because it's been on an absolute tear. How would you have traded RFOX? Well, technically, it was in a little bit of a falling wedge here with the double bottom. See that double bottom there on RFOX, and we got the move to the upside. Hi, friends, my baby, just kind of hanging out here. I actually may trade Hi Friends. Looks pretty interesting to me, like we might get a bit of a pump for Hi Friends. So that's on my radar. One Earth still in that little flag. Remember, it's high risk after a bigger pump. Doesn't mean, though, I would trade this 7-minute and see if this kind of slight hidden bullish divergence can play out. It would be very, very interesting. ACT's on my radar. Isn't that a cash or what is it? AZT? ACT. I'm drawing a blank for the Akash network. Someone can help me out here. Let me take a look. Drawing a blank. Last night was one of those nights I laid awake thinking of my father, and I usually have a really good night's sleep, but I just kind of, it's almost like I couldn't stop thinking about him. As I went to bed, it hit me so hard, like an anxiety attack kind of, where I was just like, my dad's gone, like I'll never be able to talk to him again, and like it hit so hard. I was like, and I didn't cry. I was more like in the abyss of life. Like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like I can't talk to my dad again. And I woke up this morning like, that's the reality of life, Sam. It is what it is. Like, either you deal with it now and deal with it. You can't keep changing it in your brain. And you go from there. It is what it is. So it is what it is, baby. It is what it is. Just can't believe it. Can't believe it. Can't believe it, right? Take a look here, and then we're also going to sort through the news and see what's happening on the day. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. That's why I'm a little like I'm not down, believe me. I'm feeling good. I'm happy. It just, when I lack sleep, it's kind of nice for me. I'm a hyperactive guy, and when I get that moment of just kind of to chill, it's kind of a nice feeling, I'm like a normal person, not like So now things I like stocks, right? Let's take a look at this coin called Squad, which is interesting to me. Forming this flag right now. This thing could pump. This is a low cap gem on KuCoin. Interesting enough. I know nothing about it. I'm just, looking at a pattern that likes to play out. I like what I'm seeing here. A bit of hidden bullish divergence in a slight way there too as well. Squad on the radar. It could dump and go down easily. Just be very, very careful. High risk, high reward on these coins on KuCoin. But it may make bacon on the beach. Something that I'm just beginning to look at. Let's take a look at a 1 hour though. 1 hour, yeah, 1 hour even looks pretty nice to me. So this would be a scalp of the 1 hour, the 15-minute for Squad. Moving average is getting pretty close, eventually getting that move to the upside, possibly by that golden cross as well. We're above a high volume node. We're kind of in the middle. We can continue at least to here and then maybe go to that value area high. Talking a 16% gain possibly coming out of Squad. So Squad's on my radar. And if you're in the trading group, but you can't get to the live stream, or you're at the live stream and then your boss calls you in, or something happens, or you have to drive somewhere to pick up your kid because your kid's sick from school, and all of a sudden things change and you can't watch the live stream, I post things that I'm looking at into the trading group to keep you guys up to date. So that's another beautiful reason why I love the trading group. Shout out to anyone that is in the trading group. We love you. We thank you for the support, and we're going to keep working hard for you every single day. We give leverage trades almost every day. We give ideas that you can trade leverage on, but we show you a lot of people do trade leverage in the trading group. And again, I always tell people shouldn't trade leverage until you have traded spot for at least a year or two, got yourself kind of a handle on your emotions. Your emotions can swing a lot, and the more you add leverage, the more you'll swing around, and it's just going to be a little harder for you to get into that zone. So remember that too. It's just and don't expect to be amazing overnight. I talk about like a race car driver, right? A lot of race car drivers slowly got into what they're doing. They did go-karts, then they moved on up, and it just didn't happen overnight, right? Just made gains on VAI, baby. Was it VAI? Was that or VA? trying to think. Interesting. VIO, which is nice there, or VAI. This actually looks nice. Whatever this is, I don't know what you were talking about, but look at this. I mean, this looks like it's about to blast. And this is on BitGet. That's interesting to me. That thing wants to blast to the upside. Very, very interesting. Interesting. I say that way too much lately on this live stream. I'm like, very interesting. But it catches my eye. And I start saying, hey, that could make some bacon on the beach, right? And I did open up a BitGet account, right? So I just wanted to show you if you wanted to trade BitGet. Oh, well, they go hard, though. I like what they're doing, though, with the coding. So this is on BitGet. This looks like it could make a nice move to the upside. I would be paying attention to this puppy. I opened a BitGet just in case they had some other coins that we didn't need, that they didn't have. I also sent some Casper over there because there was like this, if you put enough Casper in, they were going to give Casper away. All right. That looks like a nice move coming. VAI, USD. Also on MEXC Global, my friend says. VIO. It's also on KuCoin, too, as well. All right. Oh, look, it already pumped on KuCoin, which is interesting. So look at that. The KuCoin trade already pumped to the upside. And starting to move hard. I think it's on MEXC and KuCoin. Yeah. Let's see if it did a MEXC pump too as well, though. Yeah, MEXC and KuCoin both getting busy. Interesting how BitGet's behind. That's a little weird, right? And that's just a beautiful ascending triangle. Measured move to the upside. Scalpellini. Call it a Dini. All right. You called it out months ago. Well, I mean, I own this coin, you know, as a long-term hold, you know. So just been watching this. I actually bought this coin for the first time ever on my MetaMask account a long, long time ago. I bet I still have some. Let me take a look. And I bought it I didn't buy that much. It's probably like $30 now. I have a bigger bag on another account now at this point. What I got into about VIO, well, I want to talk about VIO because it's got my radar a little bit. It's on my radar. Again, if you have a coin in here that you can't access, right, and you're not able to get into, what you want to do is you want to go to CoinMarketCap, right? Then you want to type in VAI, VIO, and you want to go down and find the contract address, right? And right there, you'll get the contract address. It has more contracts, Polygon too, but you'll click that, right? You'll go to your MetaMask, and you'll come down here and you'll say import a token, right? And then you might have to hit custom token, paste that. It'll find the decimal and the name for you, and then you'll import the token, right? VAI. It's weird. I know I bought it. It's weird. It's not there. I'm trying to think, like, did I buy it on a different wallet? It's kind of weird. VIO. But I remember when I first got into this coin way back in the day, when it first came out. I definitely didn't buy it on Polygon. I'm like, where are you? Maybe I bought it on a different wallet, but that's, I don't think I ever sold it either for any reason. Let's talk about VIO, why I like VIO. Was founded in 2018, combines artificial intelligence and blockchain to create a new ways of digitally accessing services and securely concluding legal agreements using a natural user interface. Project is regulated under the Virtual Finance Asset Regulatory Framework in Malta since 2020. Our company, the project, and the token offering itself were audited several times, verified, and approved by Grant Thornton and the Malta Financial Service Authority. VIO enables both business and consumers to utilize a set of technologies called intelligent contracts. It serves as a personal assistant available on mobile devices via a simple, natural user interface, providing AI-based legal services. The company also offers a novel, intelligent service distribution channel that empowers business to adapt modern customers by providing a new way of accessing services. For more information, go to viat.ai. So I like VAI. I believe it can do big numbers, and it's interesting to me. And it's definitely a coin that I watch and that I've been watching for a long time. So it's been on my radar for a while. I believe this can do numbers in the bull market. It's got a market cap of only 22 million. And as you can see, it's already kind of done some work with some governments, and people know about it. So VIOD is interesting. Hydra, 40% APY. Is it safe staking play? I mean, I don't know. You can't ask me if something's safe. That's completely up to you. Nothing is safe, right? Living isn't safe. You could pass away at any day. Life is a gamble, and that is what it is. So just, you know, things that we have to kind of be real about here on the channel, right? No matter what. Looking at VELOS just the last couple of days here. VLX, all right? And VELOX is in that cup and handle. It retraced nice with falling volume. The daily looks pretty interesting to me for VELOS as it's coming back down. Like we could see a bigger move happen for this. So I'm interested, and I think it's definitely something you might want to pay attention to. VELO is also on my radar. What's funny, VELO, VELOS, right? What are we doing over here? But VELO's been on the radar. Had a nice consolidative move, and you can see that flag just looks really good, like we're going to get a bigger move to the upside. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get the pump on this. 22 hours really getting ready for a bigger move. VELOS. And another thing that I talk about and that I like is a falling wedge breaks out, and then you make a flag or a wedge outside that. You also have this cup and handle idea, and the 200 SMA hanging. Also a gap in the VRVP ready to go. VELO. And it looked like it was going to pump before Bitcoin had that kind of fallback. We had falling volume with falling price. I'm watching VELO very, very closely like a hawk. It looks like a bigger move is coming out of VELO. So don't sleep. There's opportunity out here every single day. You just have to stick with it and stick to it. Some days are going to be hard. It's not going to be perfect. But you got to keep grinding. Like I was still able to pull out a good amount of money out of the market last month. About 20 grand, but I worked my butt off. You know, I had to trade Pepe the day my dad died. And literally like I had to stick to the trades no matter what was happening, which was one of the hardest things I ever did. The day of my dad's wake was the day I sold Pepe. I was on the Wendy O show, and then I also sold Pepe. So it's been a, that's the true testament. If you cannot get emotional when you're going through some of the hardest parts of your life, and you can manage, and that comes from not using, just being on point, working out every day, and staying in the pocket of the present moment. There was nothing I could have done at that moment, right, but prepare myself for the wake, and I had to take profits on the trade that I was in, right? What's the owner of KYX TV? Philadelphia. I don't know what he's saying. Can you take a look at Montevale? I've never heard of it. Remember, when you talked about Hello, look at us now. Brave men take risks. Thank you, Sammy. Oh, yeah, Hello. Let's talk about Hello. And I'll show you my Hello bag, too. Hello Kitty, right? You're making me think of Hello Kitty. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of... remember, today. Now we're going to watch that 7-minute and that 15-minute for just a slow consolidation. It's going to take about 2 hours. We can consolidate in 2 hours around 1 o'clock. I'd be looking to take possibly another move to the upside, right? So if you go here, this is MEXC. I like MEX Global. Link is pinned in the description below. If you want to join MEXC, I'd greatly appreciate it. Helps out the channel. If you see me making a trade and you're like, where did he get that coin? I probably got it on MEXC, MEX Global. Lowest fees, highest profits, because you won't have to pay the fee when you make the profit. 0% spot, maker and taker fees, 0% fake. What's a maker and a taker? A maker is when you make a limit order because you make the sandwich. You make the order, you put it out. A taker is when you mark it in because you just want to grab whatever liquidity is out there and take that liquidity. So you're either a maker or you're a taker. When you go out of your way to make the limit, it's a little, it takes some time. You have to plot it out. At the planning, you don't always hit it. You have to kind of try a few times. You end up, you get rewarded for that. When you just want your liquidity immediately, that's what happens. John Thomas is also a really nice guy. John is a beautiful person. He's been back in the in the trading group like he never left, baby. And this guy posts more charts than almost anyone I've ever seen. Really becoming to be an amazing addition. And this is what happens. People join the trading group and then they just start posting. They just start posting and they start getting busy and they start explaining. Pepe 1 minute scalp idea, right? At 11:19. So like, oh man, I'm just getting in. Thanks, Sammy. Shout out to Bashara, man. We love you, brother. Thank you for being here. And John Thomas just keeps giving us the goods. John, man, thank you so much for the love. We appreciate you. Can we get a thumbs up in the Discord, John, to let me know you're listening? Can we get a thumbs up in the Discord? You know what? I only have a few of these, when you go to post an emoji or something like that, you can make it like a super emoji, and they only give you so much. And John, you're going to get one right now. All right, you're going to get one right now. How do I make sure it's one of the cool ones? Oh yeah, right there. You press this button, a super reaction. Watch the super reaction. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Thank you, John, for everything you're doing in the trading group. God bless you, brother. Hey, it takes a village to raise a kid. It takes a family to raise a trader. I appreciate everyone that's helping out on the live stream, everyone that's helping out here, everyone that comes in. 99 is always cooking. I'll get there one day. Shout out to Timmy313. God bless you, brother. The hour of judgment is now here upon all of us, upon nations. I am the will of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and the earth, and Himself, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, Yahweh. Shout out to William Palmer. God bless you, brother. Do you have a recorded course? I do. Email cryptolifers@gmail.com to take the course and understand all the indicators that I'm using, understand how I use them, talk about Bitcoin and the halving, where we are, where we're going, and more. That's definitely something I would, I think everyone should take that class. Any thoughts on Pepe? I'm buying every Friday. Preach like MEXC is the place to be. Almost 40% fees on KuCoin for futures. Thank you for always explaining the features and benefits. Yeah, we trade futures here on MEXC. That's just the place to be. It's the spot, right? Literally, it is the spot. You can trade spot, trade futures, do whatever makes you happy. So yeah, we got into Hello Coin, that whale coin, which was that show that was coming out. Still up about 900, about double from when we first started getting into this coin. But I thought you said Hello was up huge. I got thrown off by that chat. Hydra 40%, is it safe staking? I don't know, man. It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm trying to figure out if that's the same Hydra that's sitting here on the exchange, right? So let's get to the trade that I'm thinking about making, or that I am making. I'm in it right now, and I'm beginning to build it. And I'm going to talk about why, how, what, where, and everything, really, right? I'll be nice enough to break this down for you and talk about it. So what I did is I opened up another MEXC account on Chrome, right? With a different email. Obviously a sub-affiliate of myself, right? So I can collect my own fees, but you know what I mean? So what that does is, because every time I would add to a trade, it was hard for me to make separate trades, and maybe there's a way to do that. People could show it to me. But every time I made a trade, it added to the original trade. It wouldn't make like a separate trade, right? So that's my day. See how I'm in the day? Oh gosh, the vampire eyes, they can't take it. And this is the night mode, right? So the idea behind this is now I can swing trade on MEXC on this time frame, and then here I can do like bigger trades, right? That I don't have to think about or watch every single day. So the bigger trade that I'm playing is pretty simple. I mean, I've probably related. I just didn't talk about how I'm going to actually do it. Remember, this is a C3.ai on the stock market. Looks really nice on the daily time frame for a pretty big move to the upside. Consolidating nicely after a massive bottom, shoulder, head, and a shoulder there too, making some headway. This thing could probably, make gains, and it's getting some steam. And obviously with the Fed, if the Fed doesn't, I'm telling you right now, if the Fed doesn't raise that rate, all these, because these are, this is what people call, these are kind of risk. Any tech stock is, a speculative tech stock, can be considered sometime on risk. And now that cryptocurrency is moving, we got Bitcoin, we got AI, and you can see how they're all kind of connected. So the AI play is connected to the crypto play, vice versa, back and forth. All right. And look out for my video coming out this week, the top 10 coins that I'm looking at on CoinMarketCap in the AI sector. The top 10 coins in the AI sector for CoinMarketCap that I actually own too as well, and the portfolio that I'm beginning to build in artificial intelligence, right? I bought the Hypasui, dumb move by me. Yeah, you don't want to buy the hype, man. You don't want to buy the hype. Buy the rumors, sell the news. That news was out. Do not buy the news. Shout out to Mark Sanji. You know what? You got to just be creative. Ask people in my trading group. They will give you the solution to that. Ask people in the trading group. They will give you the solution to that. Okay. All right. Render on the radar. All right. Let's talk about Render. Let's break it down. Hot coin in the game. Showing some signs of life. It's in a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time, but it's at the bottom of the wedge again. Last time we played it was this falling wedge. It was a cup and handle. We got the move to the upside. So I wouldn't be surprised if even if it was going to eventually dump out of this falling wedge, that we got at least a pattern trade out of it somewhere back to the upside here. Let's see how much that could render for some gains. And then I'm going to show you the trade that I'm talking about for Bitcoin. 47% gains for render here on the 22-hour time frame. I like the sauce. I like what I'm seeing. And again, the previous resistance right there where we came to this area on the bar became the, fallout, got back above, and that's now support. So you got an SR flip going on right here. You have these two, this one, bounce, this one. It's a significant area. So it's got some support and resistance grinding for it. I like that. This could be an M, I guess, a little much of a stretch, but it's in this beautiful falling wedge that wants to break to the upside. I could see this thing do some serious damage. I wouldn't be surprised if Render did a 47% gain. And so this is when everyone's freaking out and getting really eerily and in fear, because if we look at the fear and greed index, we did get pretty low just the other day, but we're now neutral at 50. I like to buy Bitcoin when we're way in here, at least from here on, from 50 down. But my main big buys come when this is in the very shaded area. That's usually when you're going to be at low stochastics. Everyone's going to be screaming that it's the end, and that's where you want to be taking advantage of cryptocurrency. I mean, for me, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I say you should be taking this financial advice, but these are the indicators that I use at the right time to look for some moves, right, to the upside. So Render on my radar. Shout out to anyone that's looking at Render with me. I believe that I could just retire, watch the Lifer in the morning, make my trades, go golf all day, come back, watch Lifer at night, and count my money. Rinse and repeat. Let's go, man. Shout out to Crypto Lifer. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Yeah, sorry, shout out to Crypto Billy, man. Of course, shout out to. Thank you for the amazing knowledge and the strength on the time frames. You mean everything to me and my success. Much love. God bless you, brother. Thank you for everything, man. I'm super happy that you learned from me. And I need that sometimes. What's weird as a human being is you do so much for so many people. Then some days, I'll be honest, every once in a while I do wake up and I feel like life is pointless. And ever since my dad passed, sometimes I sit there and I just wonder, what is the point of all this? And I know I'm not supposed to, and I say, well, the point is because you got to keep people inspired, Sam. You got to keep grinding, Sam. Your dad never gave up. Your dad never, And one thing I love that I wanted to mention about my dad is, because I've seen it in the movies and stuff like that, but my dad never cried. Even though he knew, he looked me dead in the face and said, I'm dying. He took death head on like a man. He really, if anyone I've ever met, it's he would talk about death sometimes to me, it is what it is. What are you going to do? His mom did die in his arms, or, when he was 28, 29 years old. I think that made him cold, a little bit. He kind of just, from that point on, he realized that people go, So most of his life, his mother was gone out of his life. He was a pretty tough guy, I think, because of that. His mom loved him too. He's the baby of the family. But, yeah, he wasn't afraid to go down, man. And, man, he was tough as nails, I'll tell you that. He was tough as nails. Tough as nails. The purpose of life is to help others. And if you can't help them, at least not hurt them. Amen. What's your thoughts on MATIC and the BlackRock CEO having a bag? I mean, I think that's super bullish. I have a bag, you know what I mean? And I think MATIC can do numbers. I don't think, just because the devs left, I'm not too worried about MATIC. And I believe we could see some bigger gains come out of MATIC. So I hold bags of MATIC at the present moment in time. And we'll see where that goes. To me, a good time to scoop up a little bit of MATIC personally. Anywhere between 25 and, not big of a range, 25 and 70 cents. I mean, it's a big range there, but I mean, again, I believe other coins could make us more money in time. Like AGIX is really my hone in, That's the coin I plan on at least 20xing on, and then using that for some real estate. So I'm excited for what could happen to AGIX. It's on my radar. It's something that I'm definitely looking at, and that I can't wait to, cuddle up to a little bit more and grab a little more AGIX as I can. So I like what I'm seeing with AGIX. It's making me excited, and yeah. And support and resistance flips are big to me. That's what this has right here. Render has a support and resistance flip. Looks like we could get that move to the upside. So keeping you guys privy to what's happening in the game with the coins, with the hotness, right? Which whatever we see happening. DSLA, it's been a while. Tends to follow AGIX in a way. Can't explain fully why, but I've seen it happen a few times. Weird price action. Tending to hold this funky little, I guess, symmetrical triangle. I don't really know even how to call that. I've seen patterns like this break out before, but it's a little funky. I was just looking at it on the 3-day. It was just like a bigger falling wedge on the 3-day chart. It's weird, though. You can't really, I guess a broadening falling wedge? I don't know. I'm trying to see it differently. It was an interesting project for sure, DSLA. I don't like the market structure right now, so I'm going to leave it alone. Man, it's just me, you know. Sometimes it just doesn't say what it's going to do, right? I opened up this trade a while ago, right? I own this coin too long term. Really nothing happened. We're at break even. We've been there ever since. So let's kind of break it down again. This is an AI project, VXV, with very low market cap. All right. This is Vector Space AI. Has a great name, Vector Space AI. Good idea. Will they fulfill the journey? Who knows? But speculatively, which means just looking at it as what it may or may not do, but, you know, and projecting that they may do what they say. I like what I'm seeing here. The 3-day chart kind of says that we may come back down for a double bottom, though, in the next 9 or 10 days. Then possibly we could get a bigger move, something like that. Let's look at our daily and our 22, which are getting oversold again and showing some signs of life in a flag. That flag's interesting, and the flag I'm showing you, I just saw it in the corner of my eye, is here on the 22-hour time frame. However, just on that bigger idea, it looks shoulder, head, possibly kind of a right shoulder. We do kind of have that area of support there that we're holding, but this is an interesting coin. I do hold it, right? I'm not saying jump in right now, and I'm not trying to pump my bags. I'm just saying I do hold it long term. I would hold this 2 years. All right, this is something that I'm watching closely. Vector Space AI. But again, I'm just sprinkling some of the AI coins that I hold, and later on throughout tomorrow, or to maybe we get it out today. It depends. I'm going to do a video of the top 10 coins that I hold in the AI for my AI portfolio that you may just want to pay attention to. DMTR is another one, Demetra, which has something to do with AI agriculture, right? And a lot of them have that same kind of, it's kind of a head and shoulder pattern in a way. It's not, you know, but I've been watching this in a symmetrical triangle, right? We drew a fib from this level to this level. You can see it bounced nicely off the 706 area, which we like here in the trading group. Something that we teach and we talk about. If you join my group and you get in and you watch the Fibonacci video, you're going to be privy to a Fibonacci level that no one else uses in the entire market. So I think that's kind of fun and interesting. We can teach you how to add that fib level. You hit the settings bar and you type in the 706 and you would be adding the 706 to your fibs. Just something to keep you privy. This looks like it could make a move on the 22-hour time frame. It could also consolidate just longer, but it's something to watch. I like where it's at. And honestly, this coin's been on its own bull run. Like, we started getting in down here at the bottom, and you can see it's still holding massive gains. Now, maybe it gives them back. You never know. But so far, it's just been continuing to hold the gains, and it's getting more and more interesting. DMTR. So market cap's really small. Anything can happen. And, you know, this is another little KuCoin gem that we've been kind of trading on and off. It's been very good to us. We had actually a pretty interesting January into February with this coin. So it hasn't been as bearish as most people think. Honestly, the last week, because it's May and kids get off of school and all that, it's been a little slower and more boring. But, you know, shout out to all the new members, man. Thank you so much. Someone gifted a membership, I'm sure, did something interesting. 10 lifer memberships from Crypto Billy. Crypto Billy, man. Always giving. The giver of all good things in life. Crypto Billy, man. We love you, Crypto Billy. Thank you for everything, brother. DMTR is my gem, said Drum and Art. Amen. May the coins related to the metaverse VR and gaming will pump because of the hype of the new Apple VR headset? I don't believe so. No, a lot of people aren't too excited about that Apple VR headset. I'll be honest. It actually looks like trash. You know, I mean, I'm not. I mean, it's also way too expensive. $3,500. You know what I mean? Can you check SOS? Send in a super chat, TA, or deep dive. Shout out to all the new members. And when you gift a membership, you're able to just snatch that up. Shout out to the Crypto Wanderer. Shout out to Mark Badlog. Shout out to Timmy313. Shout out to Daniel Bachman. Shout out to FUD Expert, John Thomas, Crypto Billy, Mark Sanji, Mark Solo, Organic Altos Garden jumping on in there. Crypto Surf, Lil Blicky. Yeah, Little Blicky. Did you all see the Lifer just gave us some real game with the 706? Thank you, Lifer. Shout out to Little Blicky. 3,500 blocks for this. Poof, you're funny. Tony Ross, Storm Trading. Shout out to everyone that's a member. Awesome, man. Soon we'll have all members. It will look like a member stream, but it's just that many people. And it's funny, some people have to have regular people in a member stream, but I feel like my member stream would just be the regular stream because so many people just support. You know what I mean? All right, let's break down the news for you like we do every single day. I'll be right back with the news. I'm excited for the news. You should be too. Let's do this. Talk right now and get over the moment because they didn't have the news like regularly, like ready regularly, like it wasn't like on point like it should have been. So, and you get a little splash preview as the articles pop on up and you can see kind of what we're going to be talking about. But something coming out. And we're going to talk about it. Is Arbitrum going down the tubes? Is something happening to Arbitrum? Are we worried about Arbitrum? Hey, we'll be right back with the news. Be scared, be worried. No, don't be scared. Don't be worried. We're going to break it down. Shout out to everybody here. My name is Samuel James Price, and every single day, I do the Crypto Lifer Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. And you should come to the show and check it out. I want to go over the news every day, too, and give you these little snippets of news so you can figure out what's going on without having to waste your time and see what the most important 3 topics are of the day. First thing I want to do is, just get rid of the FUD. People are probably looking at Arbitrum a little, wondering what's happening right now. Remember, ZK rollups are experimental. And as we implemented them too, it was going to be, we made a video about it. And we talked about this in the video, a narrative scripted, beautiful video that you would love to watch. Go check out my channel and see that playlist if you can. Arbitrum Network bug points to experimental state of rollups. Arbitrum failed to settle on Ethereum after a pre-programmed failsafe meant a critical node didn't receive enough ETH for the gas fees. Arbitrum, the ETH Layer 2 scaling solution, stopped sending transactions to the mainnet for roughly 2 hours on Wednesday, due to a software bug affecting the optimistic rollup sequencer. The snafu left more than 2.2 billion in crypto in Lurch, locked inside dApps running on the blockchain, including GMX and Uniswap. Arbitrum, like other rollup-centric networks, is intended to relieve Ethereum mainnet of activity by providing users of off-chain environment in which to transact. The company behind Arbitrum is Off-Chain Labs. Every so often, Arbitrum must batch those transactions together, forward them to the Ethereum for finalization. Code associated with the network node crucial to this process, the sequencer, was responsible for the outage. In order for the node to send the transaction to Ethereum, one of the 2 wallets associated with the node needs enough Ethereum to pay the gas fees. Arbitrum developers explained in a tweet in the thread that the malfunction in the sequencer meant batches of transactions stopped being passed to the Ethereum mainnet. This interrupted an automated function that refilled the node's wallet with ETH for transaction fees, effectively causing transactions to pile up for hours, awaiting settlement. The sequencer spent 0.5 ETH. It spent the 5 ETH it had, but the gas refunder, which had 250 ETH, didn't refill it until it posted a successful batch. The developers retweeted. So, problems with ZK rollups, right? They're putting all these things into one area, then they need the sequencer, adding another layer. And again, if you're going to be better than Ethereum, you got to hold it down. So, a little shaky there. Might make a good price for Arbitrum, though, as I believe Arbitrum will be big in the long run over time. However, those bugs have to make you wonder, how well are the ZK rollups, and could this happen again, right? Something to think about if you're trading Arbitrum or you want to go hard on Arbitrum. I like AGIX personally, but do whatever makes you happy. I do have a pretty big bag, I will disclose, of AGIX. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I'm saying it should be taken as such. Binance wants Gary Gensler to recuse himself from the SEC lawsuit. Binance argued in February and again earlier this month that the SEC chairman should recuse himself from the SEC lawsuit against the exchange. It claimed his previous interactions with the exchange's CEO, Changpeng Zhang, justify his recusal. I mean, that's amazing, right? So, and then we went over this in February, and we talked about it already at the beginning of the live stream, but Binance lawyers reiterated in new filings that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission that Gary Gensler should remove himself from the agency's case against him because he once tried to land a job under the Fire Exchange, on the Under Fire Exchange, right? The firm raised the concerns in a letter dated in January 4th, 2023, that the SEC filed in its supporting documents claiming it had highlighted them in February. So pretty weird, pretty interesting that that's something we're seeing. For those reasons, the exchange had argued that the chairman should recuse himself. The exchange claims the SEC had not yet addressed these confirms. So interesting. What is he going to say there? Conflict of interest. What's going on? And just, something to think about here. Lens Protocol raises $15 million to boost decentralized social media. It's pretty good. Lens Protocol raises $15 million in a fund round led by IDEO Labs and Ventures. Lens Protocol raised $50 million in a funding round led by IDEO. Other VCs include Generalist Capital, Catalyst, Variant, and Blockchain Capital also participated in the round. And you can see behind the scenes, you still see VCs and companies putting in money that's getting people pretty interested, right? And alluvial eyes boosted in liquid staking among institutions with ETH withdrawals now live. Alluvial started Ethereum staking withdrawals on its decentralized liquid staking platform, Liquid Collective. The firm is optimistic about the future adoption of liquid staking, especially among institutional and enterprise users. And you can see liquid staking continue to grow. It's going to be a pretty big thing that could make a move. Redemption surge for Coinbase's staked Ether following the SEC lawsuit. On-chain data indicates a surge in redemptions of the exchange-staked Ether token. Coinbase remains the second largest entity in terms of the amount of ETH staked on the network, just behind Lido Finance. That's pretty interesting, too, as well. And last but not least, Polygon spinoff AVAIL Network starts phase 2 of its testnet. Remember, all the people that were used to be mainnet, they went to AVAIL. Hold on one second. I'm hearing someone ring the doorbell.
Special delivery.
How do you have this? Oh, it was. I don't know. Baby!
She's not at home.
She's not here?
I don't know. I'm calling her. She doesn't pick up the phone.
This is so strange. She hadn't said anything to me.
Do you think she's with neighbor?
I don't know. This is really weird.
She's gonna be she's gonna be early in the morning.
Is she upstairs sleeping?
But where is Nyla? That's weird.
Check her bedroom. Is she up there? I'm doing a show. You can come on in.
No, that's fine. I'll keep calling her.
It's so strange.
But let her know that I came by, okay?
I will. Love you, Olga. Thank you.
Bye, Sam.
Bye-bye. Polygon spinoff AVAIL Network. In AVAIL, remember, the people that used to run Polygon, they ran and started running AVAIL. Something you definitely want to pay attention to. It's pretty interesting, right? So AVAIL also intends to address data availability problems faced by scaling applications, its developer said. It's a complex problem faced by the blockchain developers. How are nodes sure about when a new block is produced? Since all the data on the block is actually published on the network, there's no way to detect hidden malicious transactions before publishing the data. AVAIL uses advanced mathematic techniques to access blockchain data provided by node operators to determine the authenticity of the data without needing to rely on all the node operators to verify the data, its developers claim. As such, AVAIL plans to onboard hundreds of new validators to join and participate and engage with its community. That's a big deal. I definitely want to pay attention to this and see what's going on with it. I was looking it up the other day. This is something I would definitely be interested in putting some money into. AVAIL. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as such. And I don't know if this is the right one, so I'd have to do my due diligence. We may not be able to buy it yet. It may be just kind of beginning. So we're going to keep our on the radar. And that's the thing. If a month from now AVAIL blows up and we start making money trading it, it's not going to be a coincidence or an accident. It's because we've been focused on it heavily. So just things that we got to kind of think about and focus on too as well. All right, and that's the news, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on into the news. Watch the news every single day here on this channel. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next news segment. And we'll probably have to edit out where I actually, bring in. And I got my shirts, man. I got my shirts. I love lapels. Absolutely love lapels. They are great. And it's funny, I knew I had given them 3 shirts. And, boom, boom, boom. Babe, Olga's here asking for you. What are you doing, sleeping?
No, I was putting the baby to sleep and I saw her messages.
I know, but you didn't hear us talking?
No.
Okay, I love you, babe. Don't be mad at me, babe.
Why didn't you tell me?
I did. I said your name early, but I thought you had left the house without telling me. I didn't know what was going on. I was doing the news. Okay. So here's my idea for Bitcoin, all right? And we're going to break it down. I said I was going to give it. People left before I was able to give it. We were up to 500 people, but you definitely, I would want to hear this information anyway. So, but it's all good. You can't, I'm blessed with the people that did stay, man. God bless. Let's focus on the good at all times, and let's just be grateful for everything in my life. And that's the key to abundance for me personally. And that's how we raise the vibration and continue to move. So we look at Bitcoin, all right, and we're going to break this down. So Bitcoin doing some cool stuff on the 22-hour time frame. As you can see, you got some like green candles consolidating pretty nicely, attempting to make that higher low one more time now, right? As you have the low, a higher low, which could be the first way out of this mess to the upside. So we could also consolidate lower. We do see, it's funny, not funny, but you can put like you can put like a middle trend line through the trend sometimes and see kind of what you're getting out of that. And, it tells me that we do have this other trend line through the middle that we've been like kind of playing games on. We want to stay above that to really begin to get our bigger move to the upside, right? So what's the idea, what I'm doing? Well, I'm beginning a weekly position that I would like to keep open to 40,000, right? If we don't go there, we don't go there, what I like about it is I don't have to risk a lot, all right? My liquidation on, so far is at 25,200. So I'm beginning to build a position, and I'm going to put between about 1,500 and $3,000 into the position, right? And the leverage is going to be 15x. It's going to be a pretty, high risk idea for sure, but with a high reward though. And so right now I'm just continuously putting in money into the trade as I see lower highs, higher lows, right? So like we came down here, I add to the trade a little bit, right? We come back up here. If I can see that we can stay above, if we start to fall back down, I add to the trade again. And as long as we stay inside the pattern, I'm good to go. Now the stop loss is going to be basically as I keep continuing to add at lower prices too, I can lower that liquidation, which is pretty cool. But the idea here is, 25.2 is the liquidation level. So if, we go back below the 200 SMA here, that could be a liquidated, and that's why I'm not putting all of it in yet. I want to continuously add. Now we go down there. What I'm doing is I have limit orders that will move the liquidation level somewhere lower, right? Now, if we end up going down here lower, so be it. If a weekly candle closes below the 200 SMA, I will close the trade, right, with minimal loss, and I'll wait to rebuild the trade yet again. So I'm going to continue to go at this, though, because if I end up getting the huge pump and I miss it, I'm going to kick myself. I'd rather try numerous times to attempt numerous times to make this happen than risk the bigger move. So the 200 SMA right there could get a bit of a bounce. It's something that we're paying attention to and we're looking at very, very closely. So I'm beginning to build this trade $300 at a time. If it's 5 $300 buys, 10 $300 buys, somewhere in that zone, and then that's kind of what I'm looking for the move. So Bitcoin getting a nice little pump back to 26,700. We're going to look at that now on the smaller time frames and break it down. Let's take a look at our 1 hour time frame and take a gander here at BTC. All right. So Bitcoin took a nice pump, and then actually, I wanted it to consolidate there in that 7 minute, and it did. It consolidated pretty nicely and then continued to pump up a little more. Pretty awesome if you think about it. Kind of was a tiny little mini flag. And when you start to see pumps like this, I do get into the smaller time frames. And with Thursday being like, in my opinion, one of the better days to trade, right? Before we get like more locked up volume on Friday, like it always kind of seems to go slower. It's nice to see this move for Bitcoin, right? Again, I still see some type of consolidation at one point on like possibly the 15-minute time frame. We're starting to get a little overbought, but this can continue to rally. We'll take a look here at the stop losses here. People getting stopped out there and liquidated. That's another short squeeze liquidation, like we see on the channel. Back to the short squeeze liquidations, and wow, now at 26,700, getting a nice little pump up here for BTC. So pretty nice to see this happen for Bitcoin on a Thursday. Shout out to anyone that went long. And, you know, this money could trickle back into the alts too as well. I want to talk about Bitcoin dominance, right? And show you kind of where we sit with it, what's going on with it, and what we want, what would be the most beneficial for the altcoins, what would be the most beneficial for Bitcoin, and kind of how I see things kind of forming. So as you can see right now, Bitcoin dominance getting the bigger move to the upside. Also, if there's any issues in the banking sector, anything happens here, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin dominance begins to rally and people start to get deeper into Bitcoin. Tight moving averages, right, on the daily with some move back to the upside. This is telling us that we could see a bigger move. And the 3-day chart's also pretty bullish for Bitcoin dominance. Think of the weekly as the weekly, yeah, not even close to the 200 SMA yet. But that, you know, I'm not really like holding that. I was just more interested in to see that. So our 3-day chart also very, very bullish, right, with a move to the upside possibly coming here. We look at the MACD, has lack of momentum, wants to turn. And when this wants to rip, like the last time I saw this rip, Bitcoin rips ridiculously. It really does. Kind of an Adam and Eve, really, in a way, but also like a quadruple bottom, 2 double bottoms that both pumped up inside of a bigger double bottom. I mean, this suggests that we are going here, and it's pretty, that's just what the charts convey, right? And whenever I do that, I like to juxtapose tether dominance because I want to see what's happening with tether dominance, right? And tether dominance also, you know, attempting to hold the gain, but really was a little high there on the 3-day chart. Now, tether dominance a little different because they could print more tether and get, you know, more money into the market. So it doesn't always mean you're going down for Bitcoin, right? It's actually in a bit of a little bull pennant there, but I do see a heavy bearish DV that is beginning to play out, which tells me that we're likely to at least fall further down to this area. I wouldn't be surprised if tether dominance did fall down when Bitcoin makes that bigger move and people rush out of tether and back into Bitcoin. Massive short squeeze here again, continuing to pump up to the upside here. Liquidity is going crazy. Look at the movement here. Massive short squeeze for Bitcoin, 26,770. They're just going after the shorts now, crushing them like they does. Crushing them like they do, baby. Crushing them like they do. So you see my big picture idea, my small picture idea. You can see where I'm trading, which is MEXC, what I'm thinking about, what I'm going after, what I'm doing. And the news also kind of there to show you, you know, where we go with the Fed, right? Remember, the Fed watch tool is really going to be your move there, CME Group Fed watch tool. And we're going to keep watching this closely with the 70% that the rate hikes will stay flat. If they stay flat, I'm telling you right now, that's a huge pivot, a huge pivot. And it's going to change the kind of landscape of the rest of 2023 and as we begin to trade. So, you know, I would be in the markets for that. That could be a massive reversal, and that's something we definitely want to be, like that would be amazing. Things would change a lot if we ended up seeing that move, right? Last thing we want to look at is the DXY, which is the dollar index, which I go over almost every single day here on the channel. And as we showed you before, I mean, I see a move down on the 3-day chart, like big, you know, and you got this hidden bullish divergence. Swing up to swing up, price action swings down, right? And did I still keep that other divergence idea out? I think I did. Hidden bullish divergence. Price action going down, but you're going up on the RSI, right? And what do you see here? You see price action going down, but you're going up on the RSI. You're also getting overbought on the stochastics RSI, which should go hand in hand with hidden bullish divergence. So, bang. Hidden bullish divergence there for the DXY isn't the best sign. You know, I mean, not the best sign for the US dollar. It's a good sign for Bitcoin. So, you know, projecting that we'll go to 98. We lose that 100. We lose this double bottom area. Obviously, that's going to be a tussle moment, maybe a bounce back up before we drop below it. But I'm excited to see what's happening. I can see something beginning to brew. We're piecing the story together. Fed doesn't raise the rates. S&P and Bitcoin begin to pump. Stock market pumps as well. All on and off risk assets begin to make a bit of a move. And Bitcoin steals the show. So that's what I see happening. Again, anything can change day to day. I'll keep you privy to the information as it comes, but that's what I'm watching here on these markets, and that's what I'm seeing, you know, into the next week or two. So I try to give you those projections. The projections come from the daily grind, and the projection could change. If I didn't grind every day, then I wouldn't be able to make these projections the way in which I do. So, you know, it is what it is, baby. It is what it is. Shout out to everyone kicking it with me here on this beautiful Thursday. I appreciate you more than you would ever know. And I have so much gratitude for my life for each and every one of you. And I thank you for jumping on into the live. I would move this again. I'm telling you right now, eventually, the further we get away from that 21, the more we're going to consolidate. I mean, technically, we did consolidate when I said it. It took like about 30 minutes. It was a smaller bit of consolidation. I see the 7-minute and that 50-minute eventually getting a consolidative move here for Bitcoin. You know, looks like this morning rally will eventually stall out a little bit. Anything is possible, but that's what I see happening. I would be taking some profits on this already if I was in a swing leverage trade. And I played that initial falling wedge that we talked about at the beginning of the live stream. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out. Let me double check and look at the super chats. And we do have $12 in chat revenue. Thank you so much, Casper, my baby. Thank you so much, Toby, for the super chat. CSPR, USDT. And we'll take a look at Casper here on MEXC Global and on KuCoin. I traded on MEXC Global, so I'll look at it there. So right off the bat, what I'm seeing is this like beautiful beginning of an ascending triangle, right? Right off the bat. And that's a bullish sign for me. Let's look at our bigger time frames. Super small. Our bigger time frames, it's in this falling wedge too, right? I take a Fibonacci from that left to right. And we could go lower to the area to kind of hit this resistance or support zone right there. Right there. We got some more support zones that we may come and touch. But I'm personally in this coin. I like it. I have a big old bag of like $4,000. This is my one of my long hauls. I got my AGIX, I got my CASPA, I got my CSPR. And those are going to be like the main coins that I'm looking at for some pretty good returns. Again, anything can happen. I'm open-minded, and I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. All right, don't do something just because I do it. Do your own research. Make sure it sits right with you. Right? Anything could happen with my investments. I speculate. I begin to build. I'm not 100%. I'm pretty dang good with it when it comes to my long-term investments. I've done very well with basically with the calls that I make and exactly what happens with them. But again, anything is humanly possible, and do your own due diligence and know that I'm not a financial advisor. All right, I may have a pocket square on, but that doesn't mean that I can, shout out to everybody here. Appreciate you, Sam. Been silently watching you for 1.5 years. I've learned a lot. Thank you. Shout out to Rec1. God bless you, man. Do you have a good crypto CPA tax preparer that you could bring in as a guest? I do, actually. A guy that I met a few times at different convention centers, and he could do it for you, What do you think of AGX? Where do you think AGX could go? I believe $5 to $8, somewhere in that region. I really do. Kobe, did Sam talk about the rate hike in Hydra earlier? I mean, the guy just asked if Hydra was safe. I'm not answering that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't ask me if your investment is safe. It's up to that person. So, yeah. So, Casper, man, I see this cup and handle forming, beginning to get a bit of a move here. All right, we look at the 1 hour time frame, and the 1 hour, like I showed you, is beginning to form kind of this ascending triangle. So as long as we can kind of consolidate in that area, I wouldn't be surprised if we could break out. That could be the catalyst for a bigger breakout. Bang, badoon dong. We look at the 3-day chart, and these are where I accumulate. 3-day charts don't look good. We could go lower. We might hit the 706. There's no, but this area to me is accumulation zone for CASPA. And it definitely even has hidden bullish divergence on the 3-day chart because it's swinging up while it's swinging down. And that could go lower and we'd still end up having it. It could be confirmed. So I like what I'm seeing for Casper, not CASPA. And I'm excited to see where this could go. Getting rejected again just by 26.9 though. Interesting. So hold up. Let me take a look here. Bitcoin had another little bit of a pump up on the smaller time frame. It wicked all the way to 26,800 on the move. Nice move for Bitcoin. I'll give that to you. Interesting pattern, to say the least. But I can almost do the same thing I just did on Casper in a way and like make this bigger channel. It'd be pretty cool if it can kind of consolidate in here and get tighter in the zone. We'll be looking for that bigger idea that I just formed. I haven't seen that yet, so another reason to stay privy to the channel, because you never know. You never know. All right, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so you can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. God bless you all, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you and all your time. Thank you. And I'm going to let this music run just for a little bit. I like this song. So if you want to dance, feeling good, feeling lucky, jump on into the dance party.
I know I should have been there for you, and I wasn't. And I'm sorry for that.
Song's kind of sad. It's called Bad Dad. Don't be a bad dad.
But I was scared.